We're recording. Everybody, welcome. We're so excited to introduce to you this new book coming up, Wow Warriors, Woman of Worth. Sherry Leopold. She's the brainchild behind the Women of Worth, and so excited to be joining forces with her because we did one book together. It was called Wellness for Winners, and that was an incredible compilation of stories of people who had experiences in their lives that wellness was something that they had to tap into to move forward. And so excited to bring this here because you all are women of worth, but who's showing up to the calls today? Who's showing up to see what this is all about? Who's showing up to see how their message of worth can empower and inspire and motivate other women to step into their worth? I don't know about you all, but I have gone through times in my life where I felt extremely unworthy, felt like I didn't deserve to be here on this planet. And so having people like you in my life has really helped me, inspired me to move into that belief in myself, who I am, what I'm all about, and why I'm here on this planet to do what I'm doing. So with that said, Sherry is going to introduce the concept of the book. I'm going to talk about the collaboration side of it as far as the publishing, and then we'll be open for questions. And before Sherry introduces herself, some of you don't know who I am, and so I just want you to know that I'm just some random stranger Sherry found on the street and said, I got to work with this woman. And so that's how this came to be. Not really. I'm the founder and CEO at Action Takers Publishing, and we have now published 37 #1 international best-selling books in a little over 3 years. And it's been an incredible journey. And part of that is that when I discovered who I am and I moved into that and started believing in myself to be that person, things just started lining up. And that's where we are today, looking for the future of what we're going to be putting out there. But just bringing together women and men. We do work with men also, but this particular book is all about the women, bringing people together to share their message, their story, to get it out there into the world is what we're all about. So with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Sherry. She's going to, again, talk about the book. Before I talk about the publishing aspect, I'll have you out. If you have any questions for Sherry, we'll have those questions first. And then anything about the publishing aspect we'll save to the end. So Sherry, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Linda. What an honor to be here and amongst these powerful women such as yourselves. And Linda just shared a little bit of her journey, and it's just, I promise you, it's just a little bit, but she truly embodies what it is to be a Wow Warrior. And the Wow Warrior book, I just want to point out, is really what it is a powerful platform. It's a piece of the Wow Warrior platform, the book is. But the book is an invitation to inviting other exceptional women to really share their journey, to inspire other women, and to amplify your professional reach. This is showing others what you have accomplished in your journey thus far. The book is going to celebrate servant-hearted leaders who know their worth, as Linda pointed out, embracing their roles as examples for other women to follow. That's something that's truly important to me. And as I share a little bit of the backstory of the Wow Warrior platform, you'll understand why. But I grew up in a home where there was domestic violence, and I watched my mother be so incredibly strong in every single area of her life, except in her marriage to my stepfather. She could solutionize anything. She could fix anything. She was so creative. She could paint, draw, and turn the ugliest thing into something beautiful, except for herself. I did a lot of thinking during COVID, and because that was all we had was no people, just time to think. And I thought about why she struggled so much with standing up for herself in that relationship, because she was so strong at work. She was strong as a parent in every other part of her life. But when I look back at the friends that she had around her, the circle that she had around her, they commiserated with her, but they didn't encourage her to stand up for herself either. And I believe she didn't really know what that looked like. Maybe perhaps that was partly generational. I don't know. But I started thinking about how in Women's History Month, this was well, it's going on 4 years now, I started thinking about, why do we always celebrate the dead women? Like when we're talking about women's history, I was like, because we can see the things they did. Yes, they were trailblazers, but in reality, if you're trying to build something or make an impact, you want to look at somebody who's actually doing it in real time. And that means somebody who's here and actively living their legacy out loud. So I decided I would simply start to focus on powerful women. So I literally just almost 4 years ago went into my network and said, who do I know that's a powerful woman? And I gave that woman some criteria. They're powerful, they're strong, they're not sitting back waiting for history to happen. They're literally creating and writing their history in real time, living her legacy out loud for all to see and be inspired by. So that when the world sees that woman, the only thing that can be said is wow. And the Wow Warrior book is going to celebrate your legacy and your place in history, because the world's going to see and understand your greatness, because it's your time to stand up and stand out as that unrepeatable miracle that you are, that one of a kind you. And I want to share just 10 quick points on why I believe that being part of this particular book is going to be an advantage for you as an author. The first is just simply increased visibility, right? Sharing your story in a published book elevates your profile, your brand, the impact you want to have, providing really a unique opportunity to reach new audiences, but also broaden your influence. And that is not limited to, but includes being part of my personal network. And that when that happens, when I always say, well, you're like in my tribe, I am your lifelong cheerleader, because that's who I am. So that's a huge thing in terms of visibility. I love to share what you're doing when I know what that is, and you're part of my Wow Warrior tribe. The second is for inspiration for others. By sharing your journey and your story, you really can inspire countless others, because you're offering a relatable experience, lessons that guide other women on their path to success. As I said, my mother there was no data for her to draw from in that. She couldn't look to somebody else who had done that. And I wish my mother had had someone like yourselves as she was navigating how to get out of that domestic violence situation she was in. She needed that powerful role model to show her that she was worthy of more, and that she was worthy, period. She needed, and you get to be that person to showcase your journey in this book, because someone right now is waiting for you and your story right now. The third is credibility and authority. Being featured as a Wow Warrior reinforces your authority, right? And your credibility as a leader in your field, showcasing your expertise, your knowledge, your achievements. And you get to be the first ever in the first edition of this series. And no one else is going to ever be able to say, I was in the first Wow Warrior book. So that is a perk unto itself. So I do want to talk about networking with like-minded women. This project offers a platform for connecting with other powerful, like-minded women, really building truly valuable relationships that can lead to new collaborations and personal growth. Our Wow Warriors are frequent guests on each other's podcasts, TV shows, magazines, collaborating through summits, and all sorts of collaborations. Some people have joined other people in their businesses. And Linda will verify that as we did the first collaborative book together, and many of us continue to support one another because we are a community. I want to assure you that inside the books that I participate in, and I already know this is true of all of Action Takers' books, but we become invested in each other. And you get to know each person inside that book. And the more you want them to win, the more they'll help you win. It is truly a win-win. So belonging to a community of support is truly what you're going to get in joining the Wow Warrior community and being in this book, because it means gaining access to that supportive network that encourages your growth and your own professional development. It also you have a database of people that want to celebrate your accomplishments and your achievements along the way. Wouldn't it be amazing to have you release something new and know that you have 10 to 20 people you can count on to say, woohoo, you got this, and share that information with you or comment on things that you're sharing? That's a really important sort of sideline perk of being part of this community. And that's true of the Action Takers publishing community and the WOW Warrior community. Hope you're getting the picture of how two big things are flanking our authors to help you soar. So the second or seventh is legacy and impact. And I think this is a really important point. Being part of this book allows you to leave a lasting legacy. And it's because you're going to get to show your legacy in your story, showing future generations and empowering women and helping women who are focused on collaborate, or doing that with women who are focused on collaboration, not competition. And those women who do that can achieve and encourage all those who see you or who are seeing you to dream big. You have that ability to inspire and impact with your story. Once again, letting someone see and know they can do what you've done. And I would be remiss if I didn't share the opportunities for collaboration. You can gain potential partnerships, as I mentioned. Many people have started joint ventures. I wouldn't even be able to count the number of speaking engagements that have come as a result of the networking and the collaboration amongst the people in the community, not to mention in Action Takers Publishing. And I know there's a lot of other things that are in that pipeline for collaboration, but I want you to understand that, and I know Linda's going to be sharing some opportunities that'll be coming up for interviewing as well, but I will most certainly be doing some interviews with each of the authors as well. Each of you are going to have a professional or a personal interview, and Linda's, I think, going to be sharing that part. But I want you to think about being featured in a published book that enhances your personal brand, positions you as that inspirational leader, right? Committed to making a difference in the lives of other women. And if that's important to you, then this is the book that's a wonderful fit for you. I do want to tell you that the first 5 people who commit to this book, we're going to be doing something a little extra special for you. You're actually going to receive some extra pre-marketing that will share some snippets of your chapter as a teaser. So you'll be promoted with the connection links, whether it's book a call with me, a lead magnet, a website, whatever you want. We will actually fashion that to you, customized to you for what you want to promote while using a snippet from your chapter in the book. The first 5 people will have that extra pre-promotion for themselves. This might be in the form of reels, or we might have you come on. One of the other ideas I thought of is having you come on and read part of your chapter and do it as a voiceover. So there's some different things that I've thought of for that, but this is a moment for us to pamper you and highlight the incredible woman that you are, that WOW warrior. And I don't want to leave out empowering the next generation, right? Because sharing your stories and the wisdom helps pave the way for younger women, not only by offering them guidance, but offering motivation and inspiration, because they will see you living that legacy, as I said, and helping them to believe that they can too. They can achieve that same greatness to where you have brought yourself today, because you are living your legacy out loud, and they know they can too. And the last point I want to share with you before I toss it back to Linda is this. As this book gains readership, it extends each participant's reach, helping you connect with women across different cultural backgrounds, geographic locations. It will most definitely be global, but literally expanding your reach across the world. The entire WoW Warrior platform is all about helping you go farther faster. And in this book, Finding Your Purpose, my chapter, which I did with Action Takers Publishing, I actually explained that my purpose is actually wrapped in yours. The same is true in this book. And I the chapter title was Let's Do a Cannonball Together. And so I explained that as if we were at a lake together and you were going to run off the end of a dock and do a cannonball, you'd make a splash, right? But if we did that together and I lock arms with you and we run off the end of the dock and we both do a cannonball, we'll make a much bigger splash, which of course will increase the ripple of blessings, right? But here's the thing about this book. This book isn't just me running off the dock with you. This book has me on one side and Action Takers Publishing on the other side. It's the triple threat, right? Like you have all of us running side by side with you, jumping off that dock and making a big splash. You'll be arm in arm with two powerhouses. You get to lock arms with two people who will be invested in your success. And the WoW Warrior book is really more than a publication. It is a movement. And by joining the project of this book, you'll not only gain that visibility and credibility, but you're also going to be contributing to a powerful legacy of women who are supporting and uplifting one another. And they're paving the way for other women to stand up and stand out. Imagine the impact that we're going to have together. Linda?
Awesome. Thanks so much, Sherry. I wish I had a pen to write up on the blackboard up there. I just love these immersive views. Sherry, thanks for sharing that. It's interesting because I shared with Sally, behind the scenes there that Sherry's doing my whole entire presentation, but not everything. So I'm going to share a little bit about that. Does anybody have any questions for Sherry related to what we're looking for in this book? What kind of stories? Because it really is about you showing up and sharing your story and inspiring, motivating, empowering others to be able to step into the life that they're truly meant to live. So does anybody have any questions related to that? Gail.
Of course I do. I've already written some books that have my most powerful stories in them. I certainly could take those experiences and contribute. Is that okay? I mean, how unique do you want the chapter to be? Because I'll be retelling a story that's already been told, but maybe in a different way.
Sherry, I'll leave that to you because this is the concept for your book. I have my own perspective.
And I think that's probably fine because I know what kind of writing that you do because I have some of your stuff. I would actually this one might be a little bit more personal. Now I know Linda's going to tell you that, but you can have up to 4,000 words. I think, maybe stitching it together with those experiences, showing your own transformation. I have to know a little bit about your story. So to where you were here and it went this way. And I think sometimes people think they have the misconception that if they've had either trauma or loss or, things that aren't great, that's not what you want to share. But actually, that's generally what makes your story powerful, right? And we want to show that transformation of why you move to that point where you stand up and stand out and say, I am worthy. This is me. Right. And yeah. I am here for greater good. So I think as long as you can stitch your stories together where somebody can actually understand your journey, I think it should be fine, which I know that you can do that. So
yeah, let's talk offline, Sherry, because my book Lessons from Hell is all about me. So yeah, let's talk about that.
The greatest title.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gail, for the question. Appreciate that. And Sherry for the explanation. Does anybody else have any questions related to what we're looking for in the book? Okay, awesome. You guys like this immersive view? I like this one. I think it's cute because we're all here. We're all here together. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to make through my presentation quickly because Sherry already covered a lot of what I was going to be sharing about that. So here we're going to talk about the collaborative book part. So specifically about like why being in a collaboration book as opposed to being in like doing a solo book is also, of course, a great way to get your message out there. But the power of collaboration, and it's exactly that one word right there, collaboration. We're collaborating with each other. I am of the philosophy of collaboration and cooperation over competition. This is how I live my life. I love coming together with people who want to support each other instead of break each other down. I grew up in an environment that was very volatile, abusive. I grew up in an alcoholic household, and that was not a household that led to people supporting each other. It was all negativity. And I spent my life, first 51 years of my life, in that type of mindset because that's where I grew up. That's where my mindset was. And so now that I've gotten into supporting others and empowering and motivating, inspiring others, I see how important it is for us to show up in those groups of people who are supporting and uplifting others. So that's what collaboration to me is all about, is supporting each other. So I'm going to share with you the top 7 reasons to be part of a collaboration book. Again, Sherry already mentioned a lot of this, so I'm going to just make it through this really quickly because I don't need to harp on the certain topics. But this is the cover of the book. I am a WOW warrior, a woman of worth who stands up and stands out. This is the cover that we have for this book. And so you already know that we have some marketing materials are already put into place. So collaboration equals opportunities. As Sherry was mentioning, there have been different opportunities that have come through the different collaboration books that we've put together. One of the things that we do is every month we host 2 Meet the Authors meetings where you have an opportunity to meet authors across all of our books. We've had so many different collaborations that have come from those meetings alone because you're having opportunities to connect with like-minded people who are positive, uplifting, motivational, which is who we attract and who I want to spend my time with. And so you're spending time with those people. And I know like Gail right here, right now, she has, done an opportunity between her and Laurel Elian of one of our other books. And so these collaborations do happen. It happens all the time. Also teamwork. You're coming together. If you have a solo book, you are solo. You are a silo. You're by yourself. Maybe you hire a marketing team to help you out. But with a collaboration book, everybody in the book is part of the team. So we're all getting the messages out there about the book, about our stories, about our messages. And it's a team that comes together to make that happen. The next is cross promotion. As Sherry mentioned, there'll be interview opportunities for you to take advantage of. It's up to you to say yes or no to take advantage of those, but they are there for you. In addition, from the different opportunities that we provide for Action Takers Publishing, as well as Sherry with the WOW Warriors, there are other people within our community that have platforms that will give you an opportunity to get your message out there. The next one is visibility. When you're in collaboration with others, you are naturally becoming more visible because you're in their ecosystem and they're in your ecosystem, thereby the collaboration of all this. We're able to help each other to get inside of each other's ecosystems in order to share our message. And so that's that more visibility with that. You're connecting with like-minded people in a collaboration book because each collaboration book out there in the world, I shouldn't say all of them, maybe not all of them, but I'll say 98% of collaboration books are a theme book. And so because it's a theme, you're saying, I believe in that theme. I am part of that theme. I embody that theme. And because of that, all the other authors inside of that book also embody that theme. They believe in that theme. So you're connecting yourself with like-minded people related to whatever the topic is of the book. Then also there's the division of labor, which kind of leans back to the teamwork. But what we do is because you're writing only one chapter, you don't have to write an entire book. We do the book, we do the proofreading and the editing. We do the formatting of the book. We create the cover design. We create the marketing materials. We're doing a lot of the work for you. Your job is to write a chapter. That's your job. And then to take advantage of all the different opportunities that we provide to you. And then we have, community and camaraderie for collaboration. This is, again, an opportunity to come together with other people like-minded and to take advantage of the different opportunities that are out there for you. So I'll just share a little quick story about myself. When I was 5, I ran away and I was gone for an entire week. What happened during that week is I had this belief instilled in me that nobody came to get me because they didn't love me and didn't want me around. Again, I grew up in a very volatile, abusive, alcoholic environment. And at 5 years old, I took my stand and I said, I'm not living in this household because it was too bad. So what happened was when I came home, I became riddled with fears and I became a people pleaser. And I lived my life the next 51 years as a people pleaser and full of fears. My voice became stifled. This is me in junior high school in my band uniform. And I played flute and piccolo in band. And how my head is bent down like that, that's how I walked around until I was 51 years old. I would not look people in the eyes. I had so much fear. And at 51, everything changed. I decided to break through one fear every single day for an entire year. And boy, did things start shifting. I started to learn who I am. I started stepping into my unrepeatable miracle that I am, that Sherry always talks about. And I just embarked on that journey, and it was scary, but it was the greatest year of my entire life. So much growth came from that. During that year, I ended up meeting somebody, and just so you know, my husband's going to be here any second now, which means my dog's going to start barking, but I'm going to keep going. Okay, y'all, I'm just going to make my way through it. And so I ended up meeting somebody who became my mentor, and he was putting together a book called Footsteps of the Fearless, which was a collaboration book. Because I was breaking through a fear every day that year, he invited me to be part of the book, and I said yes. It was a $6,000 investment for one chapter in that book, and it was one of the greatest investments I ever made, because that was the catalyst to everything I'm doing today, the people that I've met up through today. And so after I joined that book and I was done breaking through a fear every day, my mentor said to me, you need to write a book about breaking through your fears every day. And I was like, I don't want to write a book. I'm not an author. I'm not a writer. I'm not interested in that. And he goes, no, you have to do it. And I'm so glad I listened to him, because it was me being have to do that is why I did it. And that really opened up so much to my mind about how, writing is not always about, it's not about being J.K. Rowling and Stephen King. It's about getting our messages and our stories out there. So I ended up writing my book, The Year of Fears. And 3 months after I published that book, I met a woman who helped me see why I wrote the book. It wasn't about me. She said, I got your book, The Year of Fears. I read the first 14 pages and I already broke through 5 fears. That was my aha moment of the power of story, the power of my story. This little girl who grew up in Chula Vista, California, who had really like nothing really to offer that was astronomical, like all these famous people, because I spent my time comparing myself to them, the famous people. But it changed her life because she broke through those 5 fears. And then after that, I said, wow, I was in a book. I wrote a book. What's my next natural state of progression? A question I ask myself frequently. And I said, I'm going to put together my own collaboration book. I'm going to follow my mentor's footsteps and put together a book called Momentum, 13 Lessons from Action Takers Who Changed the World. So I ended up reaching out to the founder of UGG Boots, the creator of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and the inventor of the credit card magnetic strip, all people that I met on my journey. And I said, I'm thinking of writing a book. Will you take part in it? And all 3 of them said yes. And I was like, oh no, now I have to do it, because I committed to them. Committing to myself was easy for me to break those commitments, but committing to somebody was something that really made me hold on strong to it. So Momentum, 13 Lessons from Action Takers Publishing, I put it together and I reached out to this gentleman. He is the CEO of Napoleon Hill Foundation. And I reached out and I said, hey, I got this book. I was wondering if you would write the foreword for me. And he said, yes. So once the book was done, I put it in the mail, snail mail, mailed it to him. And 3 or 4 days later, I had an email from him with the foreword. This is Don Green, the CEO of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. So just the fact that I went through all these different gyrations of how to get my message out there, and and how to share my story and how to bring other people in so that they too could share their stories was something that I was like, this is awesome. I love it. Now, I lost a lot of money on that book because I did things wrong. I didn't know what I was doing. I did them wrong and I lost money, but I was having fun. And I said, I'm going to do it again. So I came up with these two books, The Fearless Entrepreneurs and Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore. And it was through these two books that was, part of this process that Sally Green ended up joining my team here at Action Takers Publishing. She's with us here today. She is our Vice President of Author Development. But these two books came out 8 days apart. They both hit #1 international bestseller status in under 5 hours. And that was when I said, oh my gosh, I have hit my ikigai. This is that perfect combination. I love what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm damn good at it, and I can make money doing this. I'm a book publisher. This was September of 2021. And at that time, I said, I had been running a women's mastermind for 6 years. And I called them all and I said, Monday's our last day. I am now a book publisher. And I just like jumped right into it, full steam ahead with Sally with me. And we just kept going and kept going. So we published 37 #1 international best-selling books in 39 months. Everything just started lining up and it's been incredible. So these are some of the books that we published during that time and, really have helped so many people to get their stories out there into the world. It's been an incredible journey and I ain't stopping anytime soon. Like I will be doing this until my last breath. And so I discovered that, through speaking and sharing my story that we have the power to make a greater impact on the planet than we can by ourselves through the collaboration books, especially. So I want you to ask yourself this one question. What is my goal? Well, it's actually 3 questions. What is my goal? What is my goal? Do I want to get my story out there? Do I want to get my message out there? Do I want to speak on stages? Do I want to have a book in hand where I can tell people that I'm a best-selling author? Maya Angelou, she said this quote that I love so much. It's that there's no greater agony than bearing an untold story. Because so many people go to their deathbed with their story still inside of them. So what is your goal? Do you want to get that story out there, your message out there? And then what's stopping you from doing it? What is the step that you need to take in order to say yes to yourself that I have this goal and I don't want to go, I don't want to go throughout my life not achieving this goal. What is that goal? What's stopping me? What do I need to do in order to achieve that goal? And then that's that next thing. So what do I need to do to hit it? What's the first step? You don't need to worry about all the steps. Just take the first step. And that first step is some sort of action, whatever that action is. You can get started today by sharing your story in this book, Wow Warriors. And here's what you're going to get by working with Action Takers Publishing. Again, I'll work through these really quickly. In this book, you will write 1 chapter up to 4,000 words. It does not have to be 4,000 words, but you get up to 4,000 words to share your story and typed on a piece of paper that's going to be 7 to 8 pages, depending on how many paragraphs you put in there. So 7 to 8 pages, 4,000 words. One of our authors, Stephanie Caldwell, she said, you guys made it easy and a pleasure. Next thing is professional writing help. As I mentioned, Sally Green, she is our Vice President of Author Development. She's here with us today. So if you ever get stumped, Sally is happy to hop on a call with you to work through that. She does one-on-one calls with people and as well as doing group calls with people. And here we have Connie. She says, your step-by-step online outline gave me more confidence that I can indeed do this. And she did indeed do this. And she became a #1 international best-selling author. The next one is professional editing. You submit your chapter and we go through proofreading and editing and getting your book finalized. And we do not publish any chapters until you approve them. So you must approve your chapter before we will publish the book. And then we have Whitney here. She says that, you guys, your editing team made it better. So she submitted her chapter and we just worked with her to make it, a little bit better. The next one is the marketing power that you will be highlighted in Done For You marketing materials. We create the marketing materials, the images, as well as the content that goes along with it to make it so easy for you that you literally just copy and paste. You can always modify it if you want, but it's there for you to just copy and paste. Easy, easy. And here we have Brian. He says, I absolutely love the marketing. And Julie, she says, I better get used to it, seeing herself out there, because she wasn't used to, having her message out there into the world. And then these are some of the marketing images that we've created. We have Wellness for Winners, which is Sherry's first book that she did with us at Action Takers Publishing. And then just some of the other marketing materials that we put together. And then community connection. So you're going to gain access to our private community of authors. So again, more people for you to connect with. And then also Debbie Pearson, she says, thank you, Linda and Sally, for the support, the opportunity, and the hard work you do to bring us all together and make this happen. And then visibility. So if you invest in your visibility, you're going to get your message out there into a greater audience to hear your personal brand, your message, and what your mission is in order to make a greater impact on the planet. Then we provide interview opportunities on Action Takers Publishing, as well as other people's opportunities. Sherry's going to share with you in just a minute that a special bonus that she's put together, for you to get your message out there, seen and heard. And then Sharon says, I just enjoyed an uplifting and inspiring podcast interview with Ms. Sarah. I enjoyed an enlightening interaction, one of the opportunities that we provided for that particular book. And then credibility. You will become a best-selling author. I guarantee that you will become a best-selling author. With that said, all of our books to date are #1 international best-selling books. I just don't guarantee the #1 international, but I do guarantee the bestseller. Again, these are the books that we have put together, some of the books that we've put together throughout the last several years. And we're just looking forward to having you share your story, your message in this book, I Am a Wow Warrior. So if you're ready to publish your story and inspire others, you can go to actiontakerspublishing.com/wow warrior. Sally will drop a link in the chat there for that. And if you want Action Takers Publishing to do the work for you, again, you write your chapter and we do all the rest of the work. So here's just a quick recap. It's a 4,000 word chapter. We have writing assistance for you, done for you marketing content. There's visibility opportunities that we provide, connections and collaborations. And Sherry, if you're ready to unmute yourself, go ahead and talk about the bonuses. One is that you'll be featured alongside your co-authors in a special edition of the Wow Warrior magazine. So Sherry, share a little bit about that.
Absolutely. We're actually going to have a special edition of the Wow Warrior magazine specifically for the authors of this book. It will be, you will be able to submit an article up to 1,200 words. You can choose how you write the article. It can be about something that you're working on. It can be also like a synopsis of your journey. It will be truly up to you. This is just another avenue for you to express who you are and how you're showing up in the world and how you are living that legacy out loud. With the open invitation, you'll be able to have clickable links in that. That's one difference between like a hard copy book is people are really lazy. So this is like a really awesome access point. They can literally, you can embed videos, you can click on and introduce yourself to the reader. It's all kinds of different things you can utilize in the digital magazine format. And it will be specifically about you powerful authors who happen to be Wow Warriors. So I'm very excited about that. This is the first time that we've done a specialty issue like this. And so it is truly an honor that I get to actually have it be the powerful Wow Warriors. So I'm very excited about that. And that's a huge perk. And it's going to come with a lot of extra promotion. All the stuff is going to be given to you, as Linda said, all the graphics for promoting the magazine, your article, all those things, everything will be done for you on that side. And all you have to do is share it. So it's literally almost, if I would put it this way, it's almost like having 2 books in one, because this is going to come after the book. So this is a very elongated process for you to gain visibility. So it isn't just the book and then now it's done and now you have to utilize it for yourself. You're going to actually have all of the same things we're ramping up with access to the magazine to share as well. So it's a very powerful double bonus, I guess, if you will. So I'm very excited about that. Does anyone have any specific questions? I mean, it will be 1,200 words. You'll be able to have pictures in that, clickable links, all your social medias and things like that. Usually at the end of the article, there's one part of the page where we have a little bit of your bio, all your clickable links to where everyone can reach you. One page is dedicated to that. And you will be supplying all that information of what you want people to know about you and how they can connect with you. So does that answer it?
I don't see any questions related to that, Sherry. So just a reminder, it is 1,200 words, whereas the chapter is up to 4,000 words. So it would be a different message and story that you would share in the magazine. So next up, Sherry, another bonus that you have is a 10-minute spotlight interview on Wow, Look Who's Here on the Wow Warrior YouTube channel. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I have I just call it a social media show, and actually it will be on YouTube, but it will actually be across all of my socials, which I'm estimating it's between 25 and probably 50,000 in reach across all of them. I share it everywhere on every social network that I have. And what we do is we pre-tape and we highlight one thing. So you might want to talk about your chapter in the book, and that's fine. You might decide you have a course and something launching, and that's what you want to talk about. We take that 10-minute to 12-minute interview and we focus in on, and I call it Wow, Look Who's Here, because I always go, wow, look who's here in the beginning. So I'm like really silly when I do the intro for it, and I make no apologies because it's me. And I want to have fun and raise that energy, right? But I want to show them the incredible human that you are. And it's that 10 minutes that you get to shine and talk about and be interviewed about what you want to get out to the masses. Like I know Meredith, so I'm going to point to her because I can put something specific that would make sense to her. Like she, has events inside of what she does that are specific, like balls and different things and fundraising events to help get her young ladies off the street and avoid being caught up in sex trafficking. So because of that, like she has specific events. So she might want to come on and take her 10 minutes to share about an event coming up or a specific fundraising event for like the house, the safe house, like that she has created. So it can be whatever it is for you. Could be a course. It could be additional coaching program that you're doing. What I like for you to do is just not confuse the viewer. We come in with one purpose to talk about one thing that you want to use. And I will give you the interview as a perk just to do whatever you want with. You can create reels out of it. You can use it however you want, but I will give the entire file to you as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Sherry, so much for that. So those are the bonuses. And then, so it is, here's the information on the fee because it does cost to be in part of these books. And I see that a couple of questions have come in. I will answer those in just a minute. So if you wanted to join us, you can do a down payment of $750 and then 2 payments of $750, or you can pay in full for $2,000 and save $250. And again, the link to that is actiontakerspublishing.com/wow author. So I saw one of the questions in the chat was, I'm curious how many persons chosen for the collaboration book. So this book will have no less than 14 people in it and no more than 20. So when we hit that 14-person number, that's when we move into action as far as having a chapter submission deadline. Once we have the book filled, the chapter submission will be due 2 to 3 weeks after the book is filled. Everything depends on the date the book is filled. If we fill it today, then chapters would be due in 3 weeks from today, whatever that would be. And then next is the schedule of the books. Michelle asked, what is the schedule of the book, the timing? Again, that is going to be based on whether and when the book is filled. So the sooner we fill the book, the sooner everything starts moving. And when the book is filled, the book launch date will be approximately 2.5 months later. So if we get it filled the end of this, our goal is to get it filled by December 31st. That is our goal. And if that ends up happening, the book will be launched around February 15th. Wait, I have the math wrong on that. Wait, March 15th, around March 15th. So again, it's 2.5 months. So that's what we have to share with you today. And we'll drop the link. Sally dropped the link on the actiontakerspublishing.com/wow author link in there. And
I mean, it would be magnificent to have it launch in Women's History Month. I'm just saying, but if it hits April, it's okay. But I mean, it would be amazing if we could do that.
so in order to do that, because that's in March, correct,
Mhm.
Sherry? Yeah.
That
so
would
in
be
order,
the December.
yeah. So in order to do that, that's why we're shooting for the end of December so that we can get it launched in March during that month. And then we can do a lot of marketing around that. So I want to share one last thing about this is that with, a lot of collaboration books, what happens is you join a collaboration book, the book is launched, and then everything's done. So some of the things that we offer here at Action Takers Publishing, plus, combining with Sherry, that other books don't do, is we do host, twice monthly. We host those Meet the Authors meetings, opportunities for you to, create relationships with other authors and to do something. And you never know what's going to happen from those. So those are ongoing. Those are twice a month, every month. And so there's opportunity there. The other thing is with this book. So what we're looking at is leading up to the book, there will be marketing materials that we'll be creating, as well as for the launch of the book. And then after the launch of the book, the magazine will come out about 3 months later. Timing will depend on Sherry's other publications, but it'll about 3 months later will be the magazine articles. So now we're already looking at anywhere from 4 to 6 months of marketing opportunities. Then after that, you'll also have that interview on the Wow, Look Who's Here. And that's going to come out 2 to 3 months after the magazine. So we're looking at about 9 months of marketing attention put on you about your message. And so this is something that's going to be way different than a lot of other collaboration books, even our own. We don't have a magazine. So we don't have that opportunity to tap into that. And at least not yet. We don't have our magazine yet. And so, this is the thing is like we have different opportunities that can be tapped into because of the collaborations that Sherry and us, bring together right there. Okay, so if you have not worked with Action Takers, there are so many tools for your support. Each year they get better and better. Thank you so much, Gail. Gail's been in many of our books. And so excited to see her here again, as well as Teresa Johnson-Paul. She's been in many of our books. Sherry's been in many of our books. I think, Sherry, you might be in the lead right now. Not that we have a contest going, but people keep coming back. That's the point on that, is that
And I would lean in and actually say there's a reason for that. I've actually done, and I know I did a testimonial on this. I've worked with 3 or 4 other people. I literally, or maybe 5, I literally will only recommend 2, and one of them is Action Takers Publishing. And that's because of how you do business. And it's important, and it matters. And I know that there are people that have had in not good situations, and they've been in someone, so they kind of get a little gun shy. That is not the case in Action Takers Publishing. They keep their word, over deliver, and that's what you're going to get with that. And that will definitely be the case in this book, because you have 2 people or 2 entities that are going to do their best to over deliver. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and that's what I believe. And I love working with you, Linda, and your company.
Thank you. And, as Sherry mentioned, it's 2 entities. We have 7 people on our team. Sherry has a team also. So it's not, it's not just a couple of us doing this together. We actually have teams, and we've been doing this. We know what we're doing, and we've created efficiency around what we're doing in order to make it, like our tagline is, we make it fast, fun, and easy. Book publishing, that is. So we make it fast, fun, and easy. And those are the words that our clients have given us. And that's why we have that as our tagline. And so our mission here, our goal here is to get your story, your message out there, to bring it out of you so that you can inspire and motivate people to take action, to live the life they truly want to live. That is our mission at Action Takers Publishing. So we're doing what we can in order to do that. And look forward to, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. Sally's here to answer them. Sherry's here to answer them. I will be sending this recording out to anybody who registered for this. So if you want to just go back and listen to it to see, is this a fit for you? Then definitely do that. We can always hop on a call. I saw somebody sent me a private message. I will look at that in just a minute and respond to you. And
I have
and-
one point. Michelle had mentioned that she had another book coming out in March. And actually, that's a huge thing when you have another one coming out in conjunction, because Amazon loves to say, oh, you like this author, then here's another one by them. They like that. So that's actually, I would say, an asset to have that be the case.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, with that said, anybody have any further questions? I saw, Michelle, you said you have a solo book coming out. Congratulations. Find
Mhm.
Love Now. Great title. I love that. And then in March, in another collaboration. So this might not be the right time for you on this particular book. We do have other opportunities as well. But if it's something that you want to jump into, and then really, take the wave of the marketing of 3 different opportunities, getting in front of a bunch of different audiences. Again, it's like there's 2 ways to look at it, right? There's either too much, or it's like, okay, this is too much for me, or I want more visibility. So it really depends on what you're looking for and what makes the most sense for you. We're not here, Sherry or I, we never push or try to get people to do things that don't work for them. It has to work for you for sure. So if this isn't the right time, that means it just isn't the right time. So if you want to talk about it, Michelle, or just reach out to me. You have my contact info, and appreciate you being here today with us. And congratulations on your own book,
Yes.
which is awesome. Oh, incredible and compassionate leader. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? If not, we'll end it for today. I do like to end on time, or early is always good too. So 6 minutes early.
Thank you for 6 minutes back to my day.
You're welcome.
Thank you all. Appreciate you. Feel free to reach
Thank
out to me
you.
as well.
Yeah, have a great day. And Genevieve, I'll reach out to you. She already jumped off. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Hi, did you want me to hang out, Linda?
Yeah. Okay. Let me stop recording.